Sorry, the tortoise and the hare, and I'm going to make a prediction about what's going to happen in the story based on what I already know about the animals in the story. So I was thinking to myself, what do I already know about tortoises? Well, they're slow, right? But they're also pretty smart animals. And I think they're planners. When you move that slow, I think you have a lot of time to think. And hares, we know, are really fast. They might make quick decisions, which might not always be a good thing. And sometimes they could be a little scattered. Okay, so that's what I know about those animals to begin with. I'm going to read a little bit of the text, and then I'm going to make a prediction as to what I think is going to happen. So you can follow along with me on the screen. The tortoise and the hare. As usual, the hare was bragging to all the other animals about his speed. "I'm faster than the wind, quicker than nightfall," he said. "No one has ever beaten me. No one ever will. I challenge any animal here to race me." The foxes and donkeys and frogs and serpents looked on in silence. No one would accept the hare's challenge. Then a lone voice rose up. "I will race you," said the tortoise. "You?" said the hare, snickering. "Why, that's a fine joke. I will dance around you all the way to the finish line." "We'll see about that," said the tortoise quietly. "Shall we race?" All right, so I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to pull up the note sheet that you're going to be working on today in your writing, so you can kind of see what we're looking for. So as you can see here, it's a sticky note, and you're going to write what the animal is in the story that you're going to talk about. I'm going to start with the tortoise. I'm going to put a T because there's no space here, and I'm using my stylus for my computer. And I'm going to say the tortoise is known for being smart and a planner. So my prediction before finishing this story is that the tortoise is going to have some sort of plan to win, because I don't think that he would have agreed to race the hare unless he thought he had an idea that he could win, or some sort of scheme or plan. So my prediction is that the tortoise will win the race because tortoises are smart and are planners. Okay, so you guys are going to do the same thing when you guys go off today. You're going to make a prediction based off of what you already know. Now, most of you read this story last week, but we're still going to finish it to see if our prediction is correct. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's just move this forward. Okay, so let me finish the story here. Okay, I'm sorry, technical difficulties. The screen's struggling here. All right, so let's finish the story and see if we were correct. So he says, "Shall we race?" The starting signal was given, and off went the tortoise and the hare. Almost at once, the hare darted over a hillside and was out of sight. The tortoise set off slowly, just plodding along. Soon the hare was way ahead of the tortoise. It was a hot day. He'd grown tired from running so fast. He thought about how far behind the tortoise would be by now. So the hare decided to take a little nap. On a soft, shady patch of grass, he curled up and went to sleep. Steadily, slowly, the tortoise kept plodding along. The sun fell lower in the sky. The shadows grew longer. The hare woke up and stretched. "I wonder where that silly tortoise is now," he said to himself. "I had a great nap. I'll bet the tortoise is still miles behind me." The hare looked back down the road. Sure enough, there was no tortoise in sight. Then he looked up the road towards the finish line. Oh no! The tortoise was still plodding along, was now nearing the end of the race. Then the hare ran the fastest he had ever ran, but it was too late. The tortoise crawled across the finish line. All the animals shouted, "Tortoise won! Tortoise won!" The hare couldn't believe it, and the tortoise just smiled to himself. All right, so even though I had to erase what I wrote, I said that the tortoise, right, was smart and a planner, and we said that he thought he was going to win, which correct, he did win. And it wasn't really that he had a plan, but it was just because he knew that he was going to outsmart the hare, and he was smart about it, and he took his time. So good. I hope you guys were able to see how I took what I already knew about the animals and use them to make a prediction and how they were going to affect the story and how the fable was going to end based on what I already knew.